So, since you guys made it out tonight, I think I should start off with something a little special for you all. I think I'm going to try a little audience participation. I'm looking for a volunteer out there to give me a ride home this evening. Yeah, so if I appear a little nervous to you guys, I want to apologize. I do suffer from a condition known as agoraphobia. If you're not familiar with it, it's actually the fear of leaving your house. So I get asked a lot, you're a comedian, how can you be scared to leave the house? Well, in my case, it's really simple. I don't want to leave the house because I just know there's a lot of crazy motherfuckers out there, man. Yeah, that I owe a shit ton of drug money to. But all jokes aside, man, I just want to go on record by saying marijuana saved my life. Yeah, fuck yeah. As soon as I started selling that shit, I could afford to eat again. Thank you. So we drinking, having a good time out there, guys. I love to see that. Me, I'm more, I guess, what you would call a social drinker, I guess. I usually only drink in social situations, like when I'm at work. Well, no, I'm actually Polish, okay? And there's a stereotype about Polish people that we drink a lot. It's fucking true, let me tell you. So I had to cut back because I actually learned how to drink at an early age. I started super early. I mean, so early, basically, the first childhood game that I learned how to play was this game my parents taught me. It's called Duck, Duck, Grey Goose. Thank you. So I'm sporting a new look tonight. I used to have really long hair, you know. I used to have this crazy hobo beard down to here, you know. But I figured, hey, guys are coming out again. I'm gonna clean it up for y'all, you know? But, I mean, I don't know. I guess I like the new look. I mean, come on, ladies. I'm like an attractive guy, right? I mean, in this strange kind of Civil War looking kind of way. Just think of me as being Gettysburg hot. Thank you. Oh man, I am like so excited to be here. But yeah, but the beard look, I do miss for two reasons. And I'll tell you why. One, I kind of miss getting offered spare change for no reason. And secondly, the look scored me an actual role on this reality TV show. It's on the Food Network. It's called Man vs. Food Stamps. But yeah, I got a soft side for the homeless people. I live right here in Tempe, you know. I see them all the time, and people dog on them, and they always say, oh, they choose to be homeless. I don't believe that. I don't think anybody chooses to be homeless. I just think their problem is they never got taught how to think outside the box. I love that joke. It's a perfect water break. But yeah, so we got any online daters out there? Same response. Don't be shy, dude. I do the whole online predatory thing myself, man. I think it's cool. But man, with all this pandemic crap going on, I gotta admit, it's killing my online dating game, man. I'm getting nowhere. Nothing. Nada, man. And it's like crazy because I've tried every single dating site out there. Christian Mingle. I went on there. Met a Satanist. Black People Meet. Went on there. Found nothing but white women on there. Hey, it's time for a water break. Thank you. And then the last one, that Farmers Only, I went on there, I met a fucking farmer. Yay! But man, you know, so like, I guess like living in the past right now, because I try to think of like the last state I was on, you know, and I kind of like feed off of that, you know? And it's like, so the last state I went on, it was great. Met this girl, we went out to dinner, had some drinks, man. It went so well that on the way home, we got to a red light, and she leans over and starts giving me roadhead. Yeah, I was surprised too, man. But I don't know who was surprised more, me or the Uber driver. Thank you. Yeah, so when I'm like striking out online, you know, I like to watch a lot of porn. But anybody watch porn out here? Come on, be straight. Alright, so you're with me. So you'll understand, I'm gonna give you a tip. Don't fall for the okie doke, okay? You know what an okie doke is, ma'am? It's when you see a site that's advertised one thing, you know? And so you think by the name and everything, you're getting one thing, but you click on it and you get something totally different. Happened to me last night. I found this site, barely legal, right? I'm like, click, 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 timeout, click, click. And I'm just like, I'm expecting a bunch of young women with big breasts, right? Man, I go on that thing, there ain't one woman on there. You know what it was? It was a site filled with Mexican dudes that just got approved for citizenship. Yeah, I was surprised about that too. I just want to state also that I work hard for a living, but my boss keeps insisting that I should stop taking boner pills at work. I'm a weird guy, haven't you figured that out by now? So when I'm not online looking at porn, when I'm not trying to get dates, I masturbate a lot. I got a lot of time on my hands. You know, why not? But with me, it's like I masturbate a lot, and all guys like to compete. They're like, oh, what's a lot? This, this, this. I guess the best way to put it in perspective for y'all, in my case, would be I don't use a cum rag. Mine's more of a cum blanket. I know, that's nasty, right? I know, I'm working on that joke because I gotta tone it down. My mom hates it. And I'm like, all right, what do I do? So I gave it some thought and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna call it that anymore. I'm just gonna tone it down and refer to it as my comforter. Because let me tell you, masturbation jokes are really hard to pull off, okay? You really need to come correct with that shit. I'm sorry, I know you never saw that one coming. So, the thing with dating, I kind of like, not dating, but I'm noticing, you guys are familiar with the term beer goggles, right? You know what that is, like you go to a bar at 7 o'clock, you see this girl across the bar, she's like the ugliest thing you ever seen. 10 to 2 in the morning, you're drunk as hell and you're like, oh, I gotta hit that shit, right? So you go home and you spend the night and you wake up the next morning and you're sober, your head's pounding and you're like, Jesus, what have I done? You know, I think it's kind of similar with what's going on with the pandemic right now. Because I find myself walking out and I'll see like a girl that I would never hit on. I mean, I'm talking like a bag lady with dirt all over her face, right? And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, check her out, man. She's got to be at least a COVID-8. Thank you. And I apologize. I said I wouldn't say the C word tonight, but I did. So yeah, some of my comedy, a lot of people ask me all the time, it's like, hey Mikey, what's like the craziest thing you said on stage? Because as you can tell, I talk a lot of shit. And I'm like, well, I hate to admit it, but I did drop an N-bomb one time. It was my first show as a pro, and I actually got paid for this show. And I was out there and I was jamming and I was killing it, man. And then for no reason, I got cocky and I dropped this N-bomb out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I'm like, what should I do? So I got off stage, closed the show, and I found the guy that hired me. And I'm like, man, I apologize for that unprofessionalism. I'm like, here's your $300 back, you know? So I felt like I did the right thing and everything. But I think what I learned more importantly is a message on what not to do. And in my case, that would be never, and I mean ever, say the word Nazi at a Jewish bar mitzvah ever again. Just let me tell you something. Black Jews are some sensitive people, yo.